All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tim Quinn. I'm a senior project manager for real estate development here at Self-Help, based right in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. It is my great honor to introduce this year's recipient of the Justice Grant Award, L.A. Moss. As many of you know, the Justice Grant Award is a special recognition at the Opportunity Finance Network's annual conference. This award celebrates a local nonprofit whose mission aligns with OFN's core purpose: to use capital to drive social, economic, climate, and political justice. What makes this grant especially meaningful is that it's awarded on behalf of all the OFN conference attendees. The grant amount reflects $5 for each paid registrant and proceeds from the fun run, demonstrating how our collective participation directly contributes to positive change. Today's recipient, L.A. Moss, truly exemplifies the spirit of this award. Based in Northeast Los Angeles, L.A. Moss is at the forefront of efforts to create and sustain cooperative systems of living and working together. At a time when working-class residents are facing extreme displacement pressures due to gentrification, L.A. Moss is leading the charge to preserve affordability and empower local communities. They do this by focusing on resident-led housing programs, equitable economic development, and community resource exchanges. In their vision of a regenerative economy, L.A. Moss is moving away from the exploitative practices we too often see in real estate and towards models rooted in care, cooperation, and ecological restoration. On a personal note, I have had the privilege of partnering with L.A. Moss in Northeast LA, formerly as a board member and recently as a joint development partner for an exciting acquisition that I will let Helen talk to you about in a moment. Through our collaboration on this community housing initiative, we've seen firsthand the transformative work they're doing, ensuring that residents can stay rooted in the neighborhoods they've called home for generations. L.A. Moss doesn't just protect housing. They foster community resilience, and we are proud to stand with them. So please join me in welcoming my friend, Executive Director Helen Learn, to celebrate L.A. Moss as this year's Justice Grant Award winner.
Thank you so much, Tim, and the OFN community for supporting our work. It is such a pleasure to be here. This means so much to us because as an organization that's been around for a dozen years, to have the support of this community with the resources and the experiences and capacity means all the world to the communities we serve. Oops. So, as Tim mentioned, we are a community-based organization, and our mission is to keep working-class communities rooted. For those who are not familiar with where Northeast LA is, it's just 10-15 minutes away from here. We are at the heart of two convergences of a river. This is a photo of the Los Angeles River. We do have a river. It's 51 miles long, and there's a section of the river that has a natural bottom. And I grew up playing on the banks of these rivers, and this river and the investment in this river has gotten national attention, and that has meant that our communities have been getting a lot of investment dollars, which is very exciting, but that also means that this heightened pressure means displacement for working class community members. Our community also has hills. This is from Debs Park, and you can see the downtown skyline. These are the beautiful communities and neighborhoods of Northeast LA where we're adjacent to concrete channelized riverbeds, to hills where there are views of our downtown area. And for our communities that have lived here for a long time, what that means is that many are not able to afford staying here to rent, and the majority of our residents are renters, and they're paying more than their fair share to pay for their housing costs. For our community, the monthly income is not a lot, just over $1,000, but the prices of housing, just renting, is going up. These numbers are actually old, but now you can actually see two-bedroom apartments going for $2,700, which makes it really hard if you're making just $1,000 a month. And so for us, our community is being centered in our work, and this is a photo of our community shaping our programs. As a community-based organization, all that we do is prioritized and directed by our community members, which has led to the community programs that I'm excited to share with you today. I'll be focusing on housing, but the other work we do is we support community economies, which is really lifting up our community vendors, sharing resources. This is a picture of Azoila, who is selling raspados at our recent community market, and we'll be actually hosting weekly community markets every night starting in the new year as a way to invite our allies who are part of our communities to invest their dollars in their neighbors. We also invest in a lot of our grassroots organizations who are leading the charge, serving their community, and they're not certified official 501c3s. We redirect resources to them. We support their capacity building. This photo is of one of our new groups, Semillas in Lucha, and this is what our community looks like, multi-generational, lots of immigrant families, non-native English speakers, which means that we have the opportunity to really center and celebrate the cultural diversity and the economic diversity of our communities. So I'm excited to share a little bit more about our partnership with Self-Help Ventures Fund and our housing work through a video that will tell a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm Executive Director of LA Mas. Our mission is to keep our working class neighbors rooted in the neighborhoods they love. Our goal is to keep housing affordable, stable, and cared for by the community members in Northeast LA.
LA Mas created the community housing program after a series of listening sessions with working class community members. They shared stories about the rising cost of living, about evictions, about harassment, the cash for keys issue, and so many properties in the neighborhood being sold.
We want to work with property owners that are often not given options when it comes to selling their properties. We want to provide an option for these property owners to allow working class folks to continue to stay here.
We're so excited to have our first community housing project in the works. It's on Arvia Street in Cypress Park. It's a 5-unit complex that has been owned by the same family for over 60 years. There's a desire by the current property owner and the residents to keep it affordable, keep it stable, and keep it in the community.
Hello, my name is Felipe Cortez. Been involved in the property since 1976. Learning about LA Mas inspired me a great deal. Their principles, their mission is just very impressive. So I hope they continue caring for the residents and a genuine interest for all the residents here. It goes on for many years after I'm gone.
Arvia reflects a lot of properties in Northeast LA, properties that have been owned by family members for decades. And some of these properties have to be sold, and that's the case with Arvia. Rather than those properties be sold to investors or corporate developers, we're hoping that they become sold to organizations like LA Mas so that we can keep them affordable, keep them in our community, and give the opportunity for our community members to have a say what happens in Northeast LA.
These are the types of properties that are really threatened by gentrification and speculation. And so we've been working with LA Mas to figure out a way where two organizations can come together and acquire the property for the community and really to preserve it, and if possible, to add new units of housing onto the property without displacing any residents.
We're doing what has been done for generations in Northeast LA. Longtime property owners caring for their neighbors, keeping housing affordable. We want to do that as a community organization, to be a community developer, to be a community owner, and to do it in partnership with our residents.
Mom was very caring and very generous. It was just part of her. She wanted to see the residents thrive. She wasn't abusive with the rents because she simply cared for people. She would really feel good knowing the outcome and knowing that LA Mas was going to take control of the property because of the principles that she felt for the community, the residents, and I want to carry on the legacy here with LA Mas.
so exciting. 2 weeks ago, we made our first acquisition, and it's only possible because of partnerships with the self-help community. So I want to take a moment to go, self-help community, are you in the room? Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing risks with us. I'm having this photo of Tim at the press conference because it really reflects that for organizations like ours being rooted in our community, we also need resources and capacity and expertise from organizations like Self-Help, which not only is a nonprofit developer, but comes with resources. And this means that our promotores are being inspired. They're excited to find more projects, and it's possible in expensive markets in Los Angeles and in gentrifying neighborhoods in Northeast LA. So we're excited to do more, and I want to just spend the last minute just highlighting what it has meant to get here and how we can do more. This is a quick overview of the project budget. Housing price is expensive. We bought a 5-unit complex for the project budget is $1.6 million. How we got there is Self-Help brought the majority of the capital through various forms of equity, some that's debt-like and some that's direct equity. Our organization fundraised the amount from partners. The Mayor Bass's LA for LA initiative gave us a grant, as well as the local list community. That got us to $1.6 million, and that's actually not a lot of money when you think about how many different funding sources you need. And in order to close the gap, we are actually also building a new unit, an accessory dwelling unit, and getting market rent. This is $2,700 for a 2-bedroom, but we're going to honor our the roots of who we're serving and see if we can get a Section 8 voucher holder. In wrapping, what a partnership like this means and what it will take to do more projects like this. Housing preservation is hard, and housing preservation projects, there are so many possibilities because they are going on the market every day. You have flippers and corporate landlords who are coming, and we're saying, let's invest in organizations like LA Mas across the nation to do this. So think about doing things like interest only during stabilization. Think about how to build capacity without displacing people. Think about the creative financing options, like we mentioned, the different forms of equity. And think about how to partner differently. Self-Help is not a lender investment. They are a co-partner, and they're investing in us with the goal that long-term we can buy them out and that the community can have a greater stake in what the ownership looks like for these properties. For our ownership levels, they are honoring our sweat equity, doing the organizing, doing the asset management, the property management, and we look forward to doing more projects like this because our communities deserve it, and there's a lot of capacity, and it requires partnerships with many of you in this room. So I hope that you feel inspired to ask your local community-based organization, what can I do to partner differently? To learn more, check out our website, and thank you so much, OFN community, for your support. It's such an honor to be the recipient of this year's Justice Award.